Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Nationwide of the NTA. I'm Ayodeji. President Buhari has performed the groundbreaking ceremony of Kano Maradi Rail Project, which will cost the Nigerian government $1.9 billion. The president, who performed the ceremony virtually, restates the commitment of the present administration to infrastructural development of the country, while also maintaining bilateral relations with neighboring countries.
The country would earn revenue through expansion of trade and commerce, while the people of the Republic will benefit from ease of transportation, logistics at affordable costs in their import and export.
Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi explained that the project will open up the country to more investments, arguing that it is for the best interest of Nigeria for the Kano Maradi Railway to be constructed.
Within Kano, Katsina, Jigawa states, and the 25-kilometer extension into Nigerian Republic involves construction of single-track standard gauge rail line with an alignment of approximately 284 kilometers.
The ceremony was attended by members of the Federal Executive Council, governors from the northwest of the country, and royal fathers. The single-track standard gauge line will have 12 stations and will provide a coastal connection between landlocked Niger Republic and the southern Nigerian ports of Lagos and Lekki. The line will also include a 93-kilometer branch from Kano to Dutse, as well as Jigawa State. Construction is due to take 2 years and 8 months. As heads of agencies are reporting further progress in the implementation of the Economic Sustainability Plan of the Buhari administration, as Vice President Yemi Osinbajo presides over a meeting of the Economic Sustainability Committee at the Presidential Villa. Highlights of the reports presented to the committee include the release of 37 billion for the Survivor Fund, covering such various schemes, including the 50,000 payroll support for 3 months to over 300,000 beneficiaries, and the one-time grants of 30,000 naira to about 100,000 artisans, while the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mariam Katagum, reported the progress of the Survivor Fund to the committee. The Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, also reported on the bank's intervention, including disbursement of over 192 billion naira for household MSMEs grants to 426,000 beneficiaries across the country, with plans to do over 100 billion naira more in that category, named Targeted Credit Facility. In the agri sector, Agriculture and Rural Development Minister Sabo Nanono also reported that under the ESP, a total of 5.4 million farmers have now been enumerated to get the support under the plan. He added that for the enumeration, which involved geospatial tagging, almost 73,000 N-Power volunteers were trained and 30,000 of them deployed to the 774 local government areas. For the purposes of funding through the CBN, the minister disclosed that 2.9 million of the farmers have had their BVN enrollment validated. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, also briefed the committee that broadband penetration in the country has moved from 38% last year to 45%, while over 170 institutions have been registered to conduct the NIN. Who briefed the committee included the Labor, Employment and Productivity Minister, Dr. Chris Ngige, and his Minister of State, Festus Keyamo, on the federal government's efforts to prevent the retrenchment of staff in the private sector because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola reported on the ministry's coordinated FG Public Works program, while Keyamo reported on the progress of the Special Public Works that hires 774,000 workers across all local government areas in the country. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has read the presidential request for the confirmation of appointment of the new service chiefs. The request for the confirmation of the 5 nominees, including the immediate past service chiefs as non-career ambassadors, was also read. Senate Correspondent Unko reports.
Shortly before the Senate adjourned in honor of the late member of the House of Representatives, O.C. Prestige from Abia State, President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan read executive communications received during their 6-week recess. This included requests for the confirmation of the appointment of the new service chiefs.
We're still taking this, right?
One, Major General Laki Irabo, Chief of Defense Staff. Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, Chief of Army Staff. Rear Admiral Awal Zubairu Gambo, Chief of Naval Staff. And Air Vice Marshal Isiaka O. Amao, Chief of Air Staff.
5 nominees as non-career ambassadors. These include the immediate past service chiefs, General Abayomi Olanishokin, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, Air Marshal Abubakar Sadiq, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, and Air Vice Marshal Mohammed Usman, with Ahuhu Adolphus as Auditor General of the Federation. In keeping with parliamentary tradition, President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan welcomed his colleagues back and reminded them of the urgent need to pass some critical bills this year.
The Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB 2020, the Electoral Act Amendment, and the 1999 Constitution Amendment Bills, amongst others. We're all aware that the PIB is a critical legislation that our country needs to enhance transparency and accountability in the Nigerian petroleum industry.
Senator Lawan also reiterated the commitment of the Senate in addressing Nigeria's security challenge through a continuous working relationship with the executive. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Senate has suspended all items scheduled for consideration in honor of the late House of Representatives member, O.C. Prestige. Let's move on to security matters now. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, says Nigerian military is working in tandem with forces of neighboring countries to ensure total annihilation of Boko Haram terrorists soon. General Attahiru disclosed this during his maiden operational visit to Maiduguri, the Borno State's capital. Maimuna Garba reports.
Operational visit by the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, was to further strategize towards ending the Boko Haram crisis, hence his meeting with various commanders within the theater, while assuring his unwavering commitment to improve on the ongoing military operations in the theater and across the country. Major General Ibrahim Attahiru said all critical requirements to enable troops succeed will be provided.
The President and Commander-in-Chief is interested in what goes on in this theater and indeed any other theater where our troops are deployed. So first-hand information gets to him and he will strive and ensure those problems are resolved towards an overall success for the Nigerian Army, for the Nigerian nation.
The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, has addressed troops of Headquarters Theater Command Operation Lafia Dole Maiduguri and those on the front line in Gamdu, where he promised to look into the issue of overstaying of troops and provision of military kits as well as equipment to enhance their operations. He commended troops' gallantry and enjoined them to put in their best to clear the marauding remnants of Boko Haram terrorists. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima has been appointed as the new spokesperson for the Nigerian Army. A statement from the Directorate of Army Public Relations indicates that before his appointment, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima was the Deputy Director Reserve, Defense Headquarters. Brigadier General Yerima replaces the former Director Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sagir Musa, who has been redeployed. Still on security matters, Katsina State Police Command has apprehended a syndicate of suspected notorious armed robbers and recovered a Toyota Prado Jeep belonging to a member of House of Representatives from Kebbi State. The suspects were paraded by the command's public relations officer, Superintendent Gambo Isa, at the police headquarters, Katsina. Shehu Adamu reports.
The two suspected armed robbers, who are between the ages of 30 and 38, were arrested along Katsina to Jibia Road, a route Republic of Niger, to dispose the stolen vehicle. Parading the suspects, the public relations officer of Katsina Command of the Nigerian Police, Superintendent Gamba Isa, said the suspects, who are part of the syndicate of armed robbers terrorizing Federal Capital Territory Abuja, were arrested in possession of anti-tracking device.
The command received a distress call that armed robbers numbering 7, armed with sophisticated weapons, attacked the residence of one Honorable Umaru Abdullahi Zimbo, a member of Federal House of Representatives representing Kangiwa Federal Constituency of Kebbi State, and stole away his motor vehicle, Toyota Prado Jeep, with registration number ABC 79GC.
Superintendent Gamba Isa explained that the suspects confessed to committing the crime and investigation is still on. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
Away from security matters, about 141 conditional cash transfer facilitators have been trained in Imo State to fast-track the enrollment of the poor and vulnerable under the federal government's poverty alleviation program. Rita Mbagu reports.
Conditional cash transfer, otherwise known as Household Uplifting Program, is one of the social safety net programs designed by the federal government to address the issue of poverty and vulnerability in Nigeria. The training of the conditional cash transfer facilitators is put together to equip them with requisite skills to enable them discharge their duties effectively.
We currently were paying 11,000 local governments in Imo State, and now we are covering the whole 27 local governments in Imo State. And currently we have a data to enroll 18,000 beneficiaries.
The enrollment manager, Sadia Abdullahi, says the major role of the cash transfer officers is to ensure that the beneficiaries get what is due to them.
They're also trained on how to use the technology which is used for enrollment of these beneficiaries.
This is a community work. They have to take it serious. That is a selfless service.
It's non-political. It's just a work of charity.
In Owerri, Rita Mbagu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with veteran journalist and fellow Nigerian Guild of Editors Olusoji Akinrinade on the occasion of his 70th birthday anniversary. A statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, stated that the president also rejoices with the family, friends and professional colleagues of the man, popularly called the General, for his exploits in many media houses, including the News Agency of Nigeria, The Punch, Concord Press and Newswatch, where he rose to become the editor-in-chief. President Buhari urges Akinrinade to deploy his over 45 years experience to groom and guide younger journalists to respect the tenets of the profession and place high premium on ethics. He wishes the septuagenarian good health, longer life and greater contribution to the profession he loves. Lagos is our first port of call, and Dotun in our Lagos studio will be guiding us. Hello, Dotun. Hello, Dotun.
Thank you, Ayodeji. 44 suspects are under the radar of the Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit, Zone A, in connection with 30 billion naira worth of goods seized from January till date. Michael Olaleye reports that a trailer loaded to the brim with fake drugs was among major seizures.
Less than 2 months since the country's borders were reopened, smuggling activities have started taking sophisticated dimension. But the Nigeria Customs Service, in fulfillment of its mandate, has intensified intelligence and reconnaissance, which led to these seizures.
The unit intercepted and seized a total of 142,627 seizures of different items, 66 packs of tramadol, 218 used vehicles, 1,660 bales of textiles, 6,985 cartons of frozen poultry products, and 985 cakes of PMS.
These fake drugs with duty-paid value of 51 million naira were intercepted along Ijebu-Ode, while 2 alleged notorious smugglers were arrested at Isenyi, Oyo State in the course of an operation resulting in the seizure of 5,000 kilograms of Indian hemp suspected to have been smuggled in from Ghana.
All we are after is that our economy should be excellent so that all of us should be happy. The saboteurs, that is the smugglers, should stop.
While the drugs-related seizures will be handed over to relevant agencies, the Customs has commenced thorough investigation with a view to determining the next line of action on the seized items. In Lagos, Michael Lale, NTA News.
The Lagos State government has clamped down on violators of state physical planning regulations. This is in view to avert erection of illegal structures to enforce the state's master plan, especially in the coastal area. Musa Toliat reports that all structures in highbrow Banana Island, Ikoyi, which contravened the law of the state, were pulled down.
Violators of building regulations and documentation taught a bitter lesson when the bulldozer moved in and brought these 3,000 units of two-story buildings to the ground. The Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Idris Salako, stressed that the affected buildings also failed integrity tests and have been placed under seal since November 2020.
They blew up their survey. That means they took more land that is necessary. And the 30 meters said that they are expected to observe is not observed. So the Lagos State government felt we need to do something.
The Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development also carried out an enforcement to stop illegal dredging and land reclamation in Banana Island.
There are physical planning regulations in Lagos State that stipulate what to build, how to build, and the location. The land reclamation aimed at extending the Banana Island estate here has been described as an illegal action capable of endangering the water ecosystem. Hence, the Lagos State enforcement today.
Enough is enough. We cannot continue to fold our arms and watch the degradation of the environment and continued blockage of the water channels on the waterfront.
Lagos State government reiterates that distortion of the state's master plan in any part of the metropolis will be met with stiff sanctions. In Lagos, Musa Toliad, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Let's now take a break. Nationwide continues shortly.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher yo a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher yo a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Ọmọ onírẹsì ti dé.
Ajebo na better school for last gidi. Not be all this on a rugged school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Kadesi, we no happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, Shao. Sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I mean, that's why I talk with that now.
Not for me. Not for me because of Pamio.
NTA Tuesday Live this week, discussion focuses on strategies to fund the 2021 budget. What role for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS? Tuesday Live, incisive and educative. Don't miss it.
The broadcast media ecosystem is dynamic and requires continuous training for practitioners to perform optimally. NTA TV College Jos invites relevant officers to the following specially packaged training programs. Intermediate online news reporting skills. Date 1st March to 12th March 2021. 2 weeks. Studio lighting indoor and outdoor. Date 1st March to 5th March 2021. 1 week. Modern trends in broadcast media marketing. Date 15th March to 9th April 2021. 4 weeks. Understanding public service rules and mastering the art of standard minute writing, reports, memoranda, and briefs. Date 15th February to 12th March 2021. 4 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week courses is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 40,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all the courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
You're welcome back to Nationwide. A 3-month national free anti-rabies vaccination exercise has been flagged off in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Otibe Achibong reports that the program targeted at prevention of rabies infection is in partnership with the World Bank, federal government and Akwa Ibom State government.
To Dr. Gloria deaths, 3 cases of rabies were recorded in the state last year, 2020. Therefore, the anti-rabies vaccination should not be taken for granted. She noted that vaccination of animals such as dogs, cats, among others, are free. Hence, the need for all pet owners to visit the nearest veterinary clinic stationed in almost all the local government's headquarters of the state for the vaccine. Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Mrs. Mary Ukwete, appreciated the State Governor, Udomi Mano, for approving the program, expressing optimism that the vision behind the initiative will be given due attention.
Though this exercise is for pet animals, may I use this medium to advocate that the veterinarians who handle dogs and cats on daily basis should themselves be immunized with the human anti-rabies.
Ministry of Agriculture have things being done here. Come out and see by yourself.
Other stakeholders at the event who outlined dangers of rabies emphasized that pet owners should make good use of the opportunity and take precautionary measures. The event highlighted vaccination of dogs and presentation of certificates by the Commissioner of Agriculture in Uyo. Utube Achibong, NTA News.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed 643 new cases of COVID-19 in 18 states and the Federal Capital Territory. In the new figures, Oyo State is leading with the new infections with 88 cases, followed by Lagos with 86 cases, then Rivers with 55, Edo has 54, Akwa Ibom 53, Adamawa 52, Plateau 45, Kaduna 41 and FCT has 34 new confirmed cases. Other states are Kwara with 27, Benue with 20, Kano 19, Delta 18, Nasarawa 16, Niger 15, Bayelsa 11, Borno 5, while Bauchi and Sokoto have 2 cases each. With this, Nigeria has 140,391 confirmed cases of COVID-19, out of which 114,635 were treated and discharged, while 1,673 have died so far, unfortunately. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has released another list of 100 passports that have been suspended for 6 months due to non-compliance with the mandatory 7-day post-arrival COVID-19 tests by their owners. This is the second batch of 100 passports to be placed on travel restrictions by the PTF to serve as a deterrent to others. The PTF had earlier noted that the 14 passengers who evade the mandatory in-country COVID-19 tests are more than 20,000 and that it would continue to suspend their travel documents in batches if they fail to take the tests. The PTF insists that only a negative PCR test will be acceptable for inbound travelers, which must be conducted within 96 hours before boarding. Port Harcourt is our next stop on Nationwide, and Gabriel is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Over to you, Gabriel.
Thank you and welcome to Port Harcourt. The greatest challenge confronting Nigeria as a nation is the issue of security, which has become a huge concern to many stakeholders. Against this background, the security is a collective responsibility. Chidie Beronia, in this special assignment, examines the individual roles of security agencies and the citizens, as well as the common ground approach towards achieving a crime-free society. Her reports.
A crime can be described as any wrongful act that injures or interferes with the interests of the society. The dream for a crime-free society remains the desire of most citizens of any nation. Regrettably, Nigeria on a daily basis is confronted with the issues of fraud, kidnapping, corruption, carjacking, cultism, among other nefarious activities. Therefore, the responsibility for the welfare and progress of the society largely depends on the governments. How then have the security agencies in Nigeria fared in the cause of protecting lives and property?
No society can be entirely crime-free, but we strive to reduce it to the barest minimum. The IGP's concept of community policing, taking policing back to the people. By doing that, they've been giving us intelligence, they've been cooperating with us, they've been partnering with us, giving us information on where to apprehend criminals.
Notwithstanding the perceived shortcomings on the part of security agencies, some respondents say citizens also have a key role to play in this regard. Top among these is in the area of information management.
We want to employ all our sundry to come on board. Let's Police Rivers Command together.
Those who go into crime, they have their own reason, but whatever the reason is not worth it, because I believe that hard work should be the main thing that everyone should strive.
At a time that the new service chiefs have taken over the mantle of leadership, there are high expectations from the populace for enhanced security in Nigeria. In Port Harcourt, Chidie Beronia, NTA News.
That's our beat from Port Harcourt. Over to you, Adebayo.
Welcome back to Abuja. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, says underfunding is a major challenge the ministry is grappling with, which has had a trickling effect on various arms of the ministry. Other analysts also gave insightful perspective while continuing the discussion on curbing frequent industrial action in the country on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Ikemini Williams reports.
Action embarked on by the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, is one among many industrial actions over the years. Strikes in Nigeria's education and health sectors have become a recurring problem that has lingered for too long in the public service and beg to be addressed. Speaking on the issue, Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, says the major problem confronting the labour union is economy and should always be approached with dialogue before embarking on a strike.
If you don't have an employer, you won't have an employee. So that enterprise must be alive. That is why they told you, you go and renegotiate. At any given time, that you have pains with what the status quo is. So, but again in Nigeria, for them to renegotiate it, the instrument of strike is placed first.
In preferring solutions to the frequent industrial actions, especially in the education sector, the guest advised governments to grant tertiary institutions autonomy, as well as address the poor industrial relations practice and trainings in the ministry.
Those days they were retraining the people. As a matter of fact, they had advantage over the labor movement.
Mm-hmm.
The labor movement was a lot weaker in ability to negotiate. We, on our part, started training our people. Government abandoned training its own people. So we now go to negotiation. We have no capacity.
The Committee of Vice Chancellors had made representations to past and previous government to say, look, what we want is university autonomy. University autonomy such that the universities can regulate their budget, pay appropriate remuneration to their staff, address their infrastructural needs. That way, we don't have to be on government payroll. Let the institutions be self-sustaining. Let them devise mechanisms to attract grants.
It's not only just putting money in their pocket. It's to create that environment for them to thrive, that environment for them to dream, that environment for them to live, that environment to live for work in the morning and know that they are ready to provide for their family.
The minister applauded some of the suggestions but disagreed with some, particularly the university autonomy, suggesting that tuition fees should rather be stepped up as a way to generate funds internally. He also stressed the need for more government funding of the ministry. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
In other news, any landlord in Maraba Jos along the Kaduna-Zaria Highway will henceforth allow parking of articulated vehicle on his premises instead of the completed trailer park will have his house demolished. Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai will give the hints while inspecting projects in Kaduna, says he has already directed the State Urban Planning and Development Authority to implement the order on any erring landlord. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
A city regaining its past glory as one-time administrative headquarters of the North, Kaduna is now witnessing a massive infrastructural development, from modern schools to roads and magnificent bridges. From the Kaduna State University permanent site to the new Maraban Jos Trailer Park and this bridge at Ungwankanawa that will link up with Rigasa Railway Station, the governor moved around to inspect the progress of ongoing projects. He encouraged the contractors to hasten up for timely delivery of the projects. And as work progresses on the second bridge across River Kaduna, a new lease of life is on the way for residents. At the new trailer park in Maraban Jos, the governor warned drivers who have formed the habit of indiscriminate parking by the roadside that it won't be business as usual.
We've given them 24 hours to park out of here and move to the trailer park. Anyone that makes his residence a vehicle park is violating our development control guidelines, will demolish his house. The mechanics should also move. We have space for mechanics in the trailer park. They should all move there. Nobody should tell us that his car is being fixed. The mechanic is here.
The state government has already developed 2050 master plan for the state. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
From Kaduna, let's link up with our Jos Network Center, and Felicia is standing by with the latest reports over there.
Thank you, Ayodeji. Welcome to Jos.
Developing capacity is key to competing in emerging fields and technical entrepreneurship. This came to the fore as Industrial Training Fund formalized collaborations to train staff of the Nigerian Defense Academy in various skills. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed by the two organizations at the ITF headquarters, Jos. Rinred Silvanus Lott has details.
The MOU is to ensure that training is given in areas of managing leadership skill and strategic areas of engagement. Representative of the commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy noted that the agreement will produce a working curriculum for future use.
The Memorandum of Understanding is to formalize collaboration between our two institutions, collaboration that will begin a long time ago and has proceeded smoothly and fruitfully till today.
Director General Industrial Training Fund, Sir Joseph Ari, said ITF will adopt various approaches in the training to ensure the staff of the NDA are exposed to new trends in technology, learning and development.
We also intend through the MOU to explore opportunities to produce officers with broad-based training both in military and academic subjects designed to serve as a foundation for our future development as a nation.
The partnership is to last for 5 years, after which will be reviewed. In Jos, Rinred Silvanus Lott, NTA News.
Members of All Progressives Congress, APC, have been charged to sustain support for the party in its efforts to improve the socio-economic well-being of Nigerians. Senator Hezekiah Dimka, Plateau Central, gave the charge while revalidating membership at Tuan, his hometown. Ekemeren Kaneng Ladoja reports.
While revalidating membership, Senator Dimka expressed appreciation to members of the party for their commitment to its progress. APC, he says, has restored hope to the people through the provision of democracy dividends, appealing to them to sustain their support for the present administration. The senator urged them to revalidate membership and preach peace.
All I want to tell others is to be sure that they have theirs done immediately, because this is a ruling party. The government have worked for it. We have worked for it, and it has come to stay, and we have seen all that is happening. People have benefited from it, and I will advise people to come around to be sure that they are properly registered.
Similarly, member representing Mikang Shandam Kwampan at the National Assembly, Comsol Alphonsus Rongap, described the exercise as a welcome development.
Not all about coming out to give palliative and giving money to people. They have changed it now to be doing a lot of things that tomorrow it will tell, and it will help the generality of the community.
I'm urging all of you, as you came out today dancing and drumming to receive your honorable member and our committee from Abuja. It gladdens my heart. It makes me believe that people believe in APC. They are anxious to join APC.
He urged his constituency to unite irrespective of political, religious and cultural differences. In Jos, Ekemeren Kaneng Ladoja, NTA News.
Time now for another break. Nationwide continues shortly in Abuja.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
A new edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy, Maxwell Local gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Life can be very eventful. We curiously expect things to happen, even when we don't know what. Our human nature makes us like and repost lots of information. Some are unverified, inciting anger and hate. Sometimes innocently, other times the urge to break it first. This, in most cases, has caused destruction in many nations.
NTA News 24. A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
Star Times channel 101 and Free TV channel 703.
Join us.
Glad to have you back after the break. 76 inmates of old Abeokuta Custodial Center, Ibara, Ogun State, have graduated from the Yewa Central College of Education, with 18 others enrolled to study various courses. According to the Nigerian Correctional Service, the NCO's Act signed into law in 2019 has empowered the service to become a full-fledged reformation institution, with collaboration efforts ongoing with well-meaning individuals and organizations to make inmates better and more valuable to the society. Recall that 40 inmates of the center graduated from YWCE in 2019. 13 other inmates in 2018 enrolled into the National Open University, and 64 others were awarded vocational certificates in the same year after acquiring skills in various vocations of their choice. 69 inmates also successfully completed NCE program in 2017. Furthermore, 50 inmates are currently running degree programs with the National Open University of Nigeria, including 2 master's degree students. The center, with the support of Hospital and Prisons Welfare Initiatives and Kuta Arts Community, non-governmental organizations, has trained 32 inmates in the production of adire, kampala, batik, tie and dye, as well as splash. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has urged institutions to use only the data uploaded by candidates during UTME-DE registration. Otherwise, they would be seen as aiding and abetting impersonation. The board stated this after apprehending 2 impersonators. Olayinka Ojo reports.
Buhari Abubakar, a prospective candidate, is said to have paid the sum of 25,000 naira to one Ajeru to source for an examination taker to write the UTME for him. He, however, ran out of luck when all the details, including identity card, carried the passport of the hired examination taker. This discovery was made possible because Bayero University, Kano, where Buhari Abubakar was aspiring to get admission into, complied fully with the ministerial directive that all data supplied by candidates during registration should be used by institutions for the freshers' registration.
When I photocopy the slip, the picture is not clear.
This is just one out of many arrests made by the board in recent times, especially of candidates who have machinery, only to discover that they cannot change the image and biometrics attached to their details.
The game is over. There is nothing they do that they will not be detected. At the appropriate time, at least we will prosecute 200 out of 400.
Check by the board reveals that the said registration was done at an ICT training institute in Kano, and the center has since been blacklisted to serve as deterrent to others. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Away from academic matters, President Buhari has expressed determination for the All Progressives Congress Party, APC, to expand its coast by strengthening the party from local to national ahead of elections. To this end, he has ordered the revalidation and registration of members nationwide. The Deputy Senate President of Nigeria, Ovie Omoagege, who mobilized members and other Deltans for this reason, revealed this to the people as he flags off the exercise in Ughelli North local government area of Delta State. Tessie Koka reports.
Like they say in their local parlance in politics, all politics are local. With this order by the president for APC members to mobilize and strengthen their structures in preparation for elections, the Deputy Senate President, Ovie Omoagege, is not giving to chance as mobilized Deltans to take the revalidation and registration exercise seriously. This, he said, will enable party members to claim sense of stakeholdership and sense of ownership in the quest to building a stronger party.
Like in the past, we need to grow this party. We need to expand our coast, and we need to build the party from the bottom up. Not so. Bottom up to it means from the unit level to the ward, LGA, state and national.
The APC leaders from the National Critical Committee, who were on hand to supervise the process, commended the Deputy Senate President for being able to galvanize members.
We are going to traverse Delta and the rest of the South Zone, and we are going to deliver Godwin. Politics is not played in Abuja. Politics is not played in Asaba, but politics is played in the unit.
The revalidation exercise was witnessed by the APC State Chairman, Jones Elwe, and other party stalwarts. Tessie Koka, NTA News.
Let's also tell you that Sheikh Ahmad Mahmoud Gumi has urged Nigerians to stop using politics, tribal and religious differences on issues on nationhood. He was speaking in Sokoto during a peace mission with bandits.
Although Sheikh Ahmad Muhammad Gumi and his entourage couldn't access the dens of the bandits in Sokoto State, he was able to meet and interact with leadership of Fulanis drawn from many villages of Vurno, and the meeting point was Maruna village. The peacemaker told the gathering that the aim is to preach and make the bandits fear God, understand the importance of peace, and by extension, lay down their arms. He urged the leadership of the Fulanis to extend the message of peace and dialogue to the bandits.
We are representing the interest of Nigeria for the interest of peace to reign. So we should put aside all political differences, religious, sectarial differences. We first have to live and survive as humans before you start thinking about which religion you belong to.
All ulamas, all clerics need to go into the forest and start speaking to them. Traditional rulers need to come in. That will give strength to the politicians who are the ones that execute things to do things.
The leaders of the Fulani communities said the bandits have become dreaded and their people can't sleep with both eyes closed. They commended Sheikh Gumi's peace mission and assured their support at all times. From Manrona village, Sheikh Gumi proceeded to Isa local government, where he called on the district head of Isa, Nasrullah Ahmad. The message was the same. Sheikh Gumi asked the district head to continue to assist in bringing an end to banditry in the area. The district head of Isa, Nasrullah Ahmad, described the peace mission by Gumi as a welcome development which should be sustained. Highlights of the visit was presentation of some Islamic books to leaders of the Fulanis for onward distribution to their people to read and know about the good teachings of Islam. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
And now sports, where Olumide Eguntola is our guide.
Reactions continue to trail the latest postponement of the 20th National Sports Festival, as announced by the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari. The minister, who confirmed that the Sports Fiesta will now hold in April, explained that the move is based on the signs of the nature of the second wave of COVID-19.
If we do it, and then at the end of the day, people get to lose their lives. So hey, kudos and thumbs up to the minister and even the task force.
There's pandemic in the UK, there's pandemic everywhere, yet the English Premiership is still going on, so it is unfortunate.
In another development, the Nigerian Olympic Committee, in conjunction with the International Olympic Committee, has organized the 5th edition of its Advanced Management course. The workshop, which was held virtually for sports administrators in the country, focused on the 4th module tagged Human Resource and Event Management, which advocates for financial autonomy for sports federations. In volleyball, the World Governing Body for Volleyball, FIVB, and the Continental Confederation, CAVB, have yielded to the request of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation on the new date to host under 18th Female Nations Cup to be hosted in Abuja. 18th Female Nations Cup will now hold between 1st and 9th of March 2021. Still on volleyball, Team Kaduna has emerged champions of the Under-17 Northwest Beach Volleyball Championship in the boys and girls category. In the boys final, Team Kaduna defeated Team Sokoto 2-1 at 17-21, 21-19, and 15-12. While Team Kaduna beat Team Katsina 2-0 at 21-7 and 21-14 in the girls' final at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium.
It shows clearly that the grassroots development that we are doing is working. It is this kind of program where you can easily tap into the talents that are bound in all nooks and crannies of the country.
From the foreign scene, action continues on Wednesday in the 5th round of the English FA Cup as Swansea City hosts English Premier League table toppers Manchester City. Leicester City will lock arms with Brighton and Hove Albion, among other matches. With Sports Update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the family of the Pioneer Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Chief Festus Marinho, who passed on recently at the age of 87. In a letter to the Marinho family, the president described the deceased as a skilled and knowledgeable person whom he worked with twice in his days as petroleum minister from 1977 to 1979 and head of state from 1984 to 1985. The president prays that God rests his soul and comforts the family left behind. In another development, the atmosphere at the House of Representatives on resumption of plenary was sober as House members mourned the death of their colleague, Representative Osi Prestige. House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, while formally announcing his demise of the lawmakers, described it as sad and a painful loss. A minute silence was observed in his honor, and as it is the tradition, sitting was adjourned to Wednesday, 10th February 2021. Until his death in a German hospital following a protracted illness, Osi Prestige represented Aba North-South Federal Constituency of Abia State at the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, Chairman House Committee on Media and Publicity, Representative Benjamin Kalu, at a briefing reiterated the commitment of the 9th House to expedite action on 3 key legislations. These are the Petroleum Industry Bill, amendment of the Electoral Act, and review of the 1999 Constitution. And that's Nationwide. I'm Ayodeji Makinde on behalf of the entire production crew. Good afternoon.